How did I help clients who lived in Oregon move cross country and become first-time homeowners here in Texas? Keep watching to find out how I saved my clients time, money, and frustration during their first-time home buying process. Moving cross country with a toddler and going through the home buying process for the first time ever are not easy things to do, but that is exactly what my clients, Morgan and Jay, asked me to help them with. Morgan and I had actually met about 2 years ago when she was in town visiting her best friend, who happens to be my now sister-in-law. We had only met that one time, and it wasn't until November of 2022 when we were put into a bridesmaids group chat that we reconnected. Once all of the girls in the group chat introduced themselves, I got a separate message specifically from Morgan, who was introducing herself to me again and telling me that her and her husband were looking to move back to Texas, and they really wanted me to be the person to help them buy their first home. I was thrilled and super honored that they would even ask me to do that with us only meeting one time before. But the best part of this entire process was that she wanted me to keep this a complete secret so that she could surprise her best friend and my soon-to-be sister-in-law, Bree, when she moved back here. After a few days, we scheduled a Zoom meeting so that we could sit down and see each other face to face, and I was able to get a much better understanding of exactly what they were looking for and what their timeline looked like. I put together an auto search on the MLS, and within a couple of days, they had some options that they wanted me to go and check out. Now, because they live across the country in Oregon, what this looked like was me going to tour the home in person and just taking a video for them and posting a private link to YouTube so that they could watch it at their convenience. After seeing a few older homes, Morgan told me that she was interested in new construction opportunities. Now, as a realtor, I knew that new construction is a great way for especially first-time home buyers to go because you can typically get a significantly reduced sales price and incentives, as well as getting locked into a reduced interest rate. She gave me the name of 2 new construction communities, and I also did some research on where she wanted to be and communities that fit into her price point and homes that were ready in her timeline. There was one specific neighborhood in Rosenberg that Morgan and Jay really loved, and there were 2 floor plans that I toured for them. They fell in love with one of the floor plans that was much bigger and knew that that was going to be their forever home. So I was able to talk to the sales associate, and she told me that because that day was November 30th, it was the end of their fiscal year, and that if we wanted that property, we would need to have earnest money deposit down and a contract signed by midnight that night. So of course, I called my clients after they watched the video and basically asked them what they wanted to do. I could tell that Morgan was a little bit flustered. We had actually only been looking for not even a full week yet. It was only a few days. And here she is about to make the biggest decision of her life based on we have to put money down within the next couple of hours and we have to sign a contract. So obviously I could tell that she was a little bit hesitant, but she was also scared to miss out on this great opportunity. So I just talked her through her pros and cons of waiting versus buying now, and ultimately she and Jay discussed it and decided to hold off. We had only been searching for a couple of days, and that pressure was just too much to make a decision in that short period of time. The next day, I called Morgan to check on her, and I could tell that she was really disappointed that they didn't pull the trigger on purchasing that new construction opportunity. I told her not to worry, that I was going to keep an eye on the community and that floor plan and stay in touch with that sales associate to see if prices ever dropped in the future. About 2 weeks later, I got a phone call from the sales associate telling me that that floor plan had dropped in price again. So I immediately called Morgan and Jay and scheduled time to run down there and check it out in person. And I can't even tell you how much more beautiful this particular home was than the first one that they were looking at. Not only was it beautiful, but it was in a great location, right on a cul-de-sac, and it backs up to a walking trail. They had no back neighbors, so everything about them waiting was perfect timing for them to be able to get this house. Over the next 30 days, I did my best to be the biggest resource to my client and help them answer any questions about becoming first-time homebuyers. I scheduled their inspection. I attended their blue tape walkthrough. I attended their final walkthrough and got them set up to be able to close virtually while they were in Oregon. And the best compliment that I received from this entire process is that they put their trust in me to make sure that their home was absolutely perfect while they were 2,200 miles away. Once they closed on their new home, They packed up all of their stuff in Oregon and made the trip cross country to Texas with their toddler, Izzy. And Morgan did get to surprise Brie on Super Bowl Sunday by showing up at a party unannounced to let Brie know that she had moved back to Texas. The video is amazing, and I am so glad that I was a part of all of that. So what do you think the most challenging part about moving cross country and buying your first home would be? Add your comments below, and I would love to know your thoughts. And if you're in need of a realtor who can take the stress out of becoming a first-time homeowner, let's book a call. All of the links to a free, no pressure call are below. You can choose a time that works best for you, and I can get to know you better, understand how I can serve you best, and help you with your next best steps. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and check out some of my other videos while you're here. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.